Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Color with Donna here in Coloritaville. And today's video, which is for hashtag Mystical 2021, and I will be doing a color and chats in Mystical Lands of Uchana, book 3. And it is Peacevalley Acres is the page that I'm going to get started on today. And I thought I would hang out with you guys for a while and just color and chit chat about just, random things. And yeah, so excuse me. I have my Spree 128 markers sitting beside me. I've also got my graphic bees here at my desk, as well as my Arctics skin and hair tone markers. So I've got a few different things laying around. If I need them, I also have ultrafine Sharpies and Bics close by also. So yeah, I think I have everything that I should probably need. And I remembered to bring over, would ya, a game of this or that. So if I want to pull a card, it's actually a little game that you can play with friends and family for like conversation starters and things like that. When I saw it in the store last over Christmas time, I thought it would be kind of neat just to have as like little chat prompts during coloring chats. So yeah. All right, so let's just kind of dive in to today's video and hang out with each other for a while. And I really haven't put a lot of thought into the page yet. And I know that is kind of a running theme lately. And I apologize. I need to put more thought before I actually sit down and start recording. I need to start really putting some thought into the pages. But yeah, well, that's just, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So let's just kind of jump in and see what we can do. If the picture doesn't turn out looking all that great, that's fine. It's not a problem. Um, there's always more pictures to color. So yeah. And as always, there'll be links down in the description below to all things Coloritaville. I'll be sure to link the book and the markers and things like that I used during the video. My Instagram links and all of that is down there also. And I'm going to try to remember to add a link also over to Karen E. Meyer's Facebook page for the Mystical Lands. If you want to visit over there and hang out with her. It looks like the group's a lot of fun. I post over there when I color pictures and post videos and things like that. So join her over there. And I think I'm going to start on these cute little flowers up here at the top. I don't know how this is going to work. I've got 82, which is light violet, and I've got 75, which is dark violet light. And I'm just going to see what I can maybe do with these little babies. But yeah. So without any further ado, 4 minutes into the video, finally marker on paper. I think I put some thought into this, and I think I may just work on this a little bit with you guys today. And I might actually just save it and come back and actually do the entire picture on camera. We'll see. We'll see how far we get today and how I'm feeling about it as we move along. So no huge promises, but So today is Thursday, March 11th. And once I get this part of the video filmed, or, ready to go up onto YouTube, it will be going up today. So I hope you guys are still having a great week. Things here are what they are, I guess you could say. Um, I did bring Desi home. Some of you have asked me in comments about that. It's going to be really tough because, as I told you guys, the camper did work out, so we are going to be able to do that. I don't know that I will definitely have enough room for all three in the camper. The original intent was to get Desi kind of trained up and leave him here with my mother-in-law when we moved. We thought that that would be really great company for her. And she got, at first she was super excited. And then the next day she got really wishy washy with me about it. And then the day after that, she was kind of like, yep, nope, I don't want him. And so I started trying to hustle and figure something out. And Gary and I love this little guy. He is so sweet. He definitely needs neutered. He's having some marking issues. But what I did was I went out and got I got three three washable belly bands off of Amazon. If you're not familiar, just do a little search for the term belly band. It's just like it's almost like a little diaper for a male dog. It just kind of wraps around and covers, their little private area so they can't mark inside the house. So when he's indoors, I'm keeping that on him. And then when he goes outdoors, I'm taking that off so he can, do his business and, get air and airflow and things like that. But I have noticed that, the first night was crazy. He was just wanting to mark anything and everything. If he was in the floor, I was going behind him with enzyme, the enzyme cleaner that gets rid of all that kind of smells and pheromones and all of that. And then the next day is when I went immediately and got just a disposable belly bands, and I ordered the washable ones off of Amazon that day. And, with the washable ones, you can just put like a little maxi pad on the inside of it for absorbency and just kind of keep that maxi pad changed out. But since I've, started putting the belly bands on him, I think that gives him enough, because he was scolded several times the first night. And then, after I got the belly band on him, I'm really not, there's only been a couple times that there's been any wetness whatsoever inside the belly band. So I think maybe the belly band is actually reminding him that he is not supposed to be doing this. So it's just a little bit of a little reminder, and I think we're making progress with that. And anyway, Gary and I really do like the little guy, so I have made him an appointment to get neutered on the 29th. And I've spoken to my daughter-in-law who lives in North Carolina, and they're willing to foster him until Gary and I, once we go into the camper, until we can maybe get the house built. And then Gary and I will just take him back at that point. So it looks like he has definitely found some people who are going to love him and take care of him. And of course, when my daughter-in-law offered, and we were like, and I had told my mother-in-law that Gary and I were probably just going to keep him, then she's like, well, maybe I do want him. And of course, at that point, after you've been so wishy-washy for a couple days, and then I've spent a whole day panicking, trying to figure out a plan for this baby, then you change your mind. And I don't know. I was just kind of with her. I was kind of like, yeah, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. And she's like offering to pay for neutering and things like that. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I will pay for that, because I don't want it to be a situation of, this is what I told her. I said, I don't want it to be a situation of you deciding that you don't want him and then you're upset that you put the money in. So, and I also wanted to leave it open where if I wasn't comfortable with leaving him here when I moved out, that I didn't have to, because, she had not put any money into it. I just kind of think that's the smart way to handle that right now. So that's how I'm handling it. So yeah. So that's where I am with that. But he is a sweet little booger. And I'll try to remember to put some pictures up over on Instagram so you guys can see him. So those of you who follow me on Instagram, be sure to watch for that. And those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram if you want to see his little pictures. He is a cutie pie for sure. His head's a lot bigger than Riley's. It's more full and round, but they look so much alike. They really, truly, truly do. Okay, so I'm going to use 47 and 48 now, which is grass green and yellow green. I'm going to go in here. So I've been watching a lot of Disney movies lately. I've pulled up my Disney Plus and just started kind of going through. I've watched some of like the old cartoons, Snow White, things like that. I've watched Brave, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Finding Nemo. I watched Into the Woods yesterday. That's actually not bad. I mean, it is a musical, so if you don't like musicals, you're not going to like it. I generally don't like musicals, but I still found it a little entertaining to listen to in the background as I colored yesterday. So who knows? Maybe you would like it. So if you have Disney Plus, I definitely recommend at least checking out Into the Woods and listening to that. It's pretty interesting. Takes a lot of Disney characters and puts them all into like this one movie musical together, where all their paths are kind of crossing each other. So it's kind of neat. I enjoyed it. And then last night, I was just kind of cruising around looking, and I saw dinosaurs, and I have not thought about that show in bukus. You guys remember that from back in the 90s, Dinosaurs? Where it was the dad, the mom, the girl, the teenage boy, and the little baby dinosaur. And the little baby dinosaur was always screaming, "Not the mama, not the mama." Yes. So I started watching that, and I think I'm on like episode 10 now, something like that. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I always liked it back in the day, and I had kind of along the way just I guess forgotten about it. All right, this is 37 pastel yellow. But when I saw that last night, I was like, oh my. So I pulled it out and started listening to it, and it was loads of fun to listen to. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Let me see. 80. I want 86, which is vivid reddish purple. I'll do these little dots. Hopefully, if I put a background on this, these dots, I can get around them okay. Maybe I should use like pan pastels or something like that for this background when I get there. I don't know. We'll see. And I want to give a little shout out today. For those of you who have been around the coloring community for a while, especially if you've been with A Colorful Life and Anne's channel, you probably know Mama Megs. She is a person who I heard a lot about through Anne when I first started just watching ColorTube in the coloring community. Before I started my channel, she was a very active subscriber with Anne. And I got an email from Megs yesterday, and I did not I did not know this, but she has a YouTube channel of her own. It's, I believe, I hope I say this right. I believe it's Art Therapy with Mama Megs. I am going to link her down in the description of this video. And hi, Meg, shout out. So I would love it if you guys would go over and just show her some love. I haven't got a chance to sit down and watch her videos yet. I'm going to, though, start looking through them. It looks like she does a lot of different types of crafting and art type things, not just coloring, but it looked pretty interesting just scanning the videos. And I received an email from her yesterday, and she was letting me know about her channel, and that every so often she has like craft sales on her channel. I guess she's selling overstock things that she's purchased and things that she hasn't used or that she got at Steal Deals and things like that. And she offers them, she says, at really great prices and things. And she does these a couple times a year, or I mean, I can't remember exactly how often she said she tries to do them. I mean, I'm sure it's just based off of when she has things available, but she is going to be having one. I believe she said she is filming it today. It will be released tomorrow. So, and she says markers, pencils, zigs, Karen Diosh, Prisma. I'm trying to remember some of the names that was in that email. So, or, products. So go down to in the description and find her channel and go check her out. Watch for that video that's going to be coming up. It sounds like it might be interesting, and, give her a subscribe. She's been on YouTube now, it looks like, for about a year, a little over maybe. And I just think that we should show her some love. So let's do that. So her link will be down in the description. And like I said, I believe it is Art Therapy with Mama Megs. So yeah. I'm looking for, I've got 102. I'm looking for 103. Here we go. So this is Potato Brown. Oh no, it's not Potato Brown. It is Raw Umber and Potato Brown. So it is Potato Brown, but all right, I was just going to go ahead and work on this little sign while I was up here in this area. So I know I've kind of been waiting until almost the end to do this. I know I'm jumping around on topics a lot today, and I'm sorry, but I really have been enjoying that dinosaur show. It just happened to come back to my mind again. It's probably what I will continue to watch, probably for the rest of the day. So, see, I don't know that I want to use Potato Brown. I think I'm going to use 104. 104, if I can find it. This is a set that I don't keep in a case or anything, so it's just in the bag. They work well in the bag, and it only being like 120 markers. Here it is. It's not crazy hard to find markers in the bag, so, and since the bag was so stable, I kind of just like to just keep them in the bag. This bag seems to be much taller than some of the other bags that I have gotten markers in before. And the markers just seem to kind of lean over, and you can actually see the colors. Okay, the color numbers and things like that to pull markers, and they're not falling all out of the bag and everything. So I just decided to keep it in the bag. Okay. I need to go to UPS today and drop some things off. We'll see if that happens once I finish this chat and get the video on its way up to YouTube, while it's going through its rendering and processing and all of that stuff. I really need to go over to UPS. Gary, actually, I've got 2 things that I need to send back to Amazon, and Gary has something he needs me to mail back from him too. He left it laying in the foyer this morning so I would see it. So I need to go over there and get this done. But I think that's about the only thing I've got to go do today. So yay for that. All right, I'm going to go back to those 47s and 48s. I'm going to work on some of these little grassy areas that are sticking up and get that done. And soon, I am going to need to start going over to our property and working on that little storage building area that I've been telling you guys about, that I'm going to use. We're going to use it to store the things that, first of all, we got to clean out a lot that's in there because it's about to become a big storage area. But I need to start getting some of the things cleaned out of there and figure out what to do with them that we're not going to keep, that are in there, that we've decided, we're going to have to make some tough decisions on some of this stuff. Figure out ways to store things, because there's a lot of my personal stuff that's going to have to be stored in there. And then I need also to start working on getting that one area in there ready to be a art room area. I would like to go on over and start getting busy in that thing when I can and start working on that room. Hopefully that'll be less time that it takes me to get up and running when I get over there. Of course, I guess if I start going over there and spending time now, it's just going to take me away now. So I don't know what to do. My brain is just absolutely fried right now because it's got so many thoughts going on, constantly, just trying to think of how I want to plan for this and how I want to plan for that and everything. So, I don't know if I told you guys about that little appliance that I saw at the little cheap store. But of course, it was open box and stuff, and I would just rather get something new. I think I told you guys about this. But yesterday, I found one on Overstock, cheaper than that open box one would have been at that store. No joke. And I got it. It's the Power XL 12-in-1. And it's a grill and a slow cooker and an air fryer and a fryer. And it does all other kinds of, several other different functions. It bakes. Yeah. So I found one at Overstock and I purchased it. So it should be shipping out to me soon. I'm super excited about that. That's what I think I'm going to do a lot of cooking with once we get into the camper, to keep from using, like I told you guys. Yeah, I do remember talking about this. So I wouldn't have to use the propane all the time to cook, because that stove's propane and that stove has never even been lit before. So even though the camper is a 2008, the stove is brand spanking new. As far as never being used anyway. So that's what I think I want to do instead of using the propane. So I bought that yesterday. It'll be shipping out soon. I'm super excited. I sent a link to it to Deb the other day, and she thought it looked pretty neat too. She had never seen anything like that, and I had never seen anything like that. It's kind of like a foodie, like a Ninja foodie, the ones that do like 8-in-1 and all that kind of stuff, except it's square, not round. And but this one actually, the foodies, I couldn't find one either it didn't fry, it only air fried, or it didn't have a slow cooker, or this is the only unit I've ever seen that literally did all of those things in the one unit. So I think that's pretty neat. I'll be excited to see kind of how it works. Once I get it, though, I'm not even going to open the box. I'm just going to go ahead and take it over to the property and go ahead and get it stored up over there, so it'll be ready when we do get there. And hopefully there won't be any problems with it when it comes out of the box, because you know how it is, guys. You open something and you can never get it back in the box the way it was. So I think it would just be easier to go ahead and just take it over and store it and not open it, like get it all open and out until we're there and kind of ready to use it. Because otherwise, I'm just going to have a bulky mess sitting inside of a box because I can't get it repackaged correctly. So I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly what I mean by that, because there's only been a few times ever that I have gotten something, excuse me, apparently I'm sleepy, that I've gotten something and been able to store it back in its box. Now, my mom used to be really good at that when I was growing up. She had all kinds of things that when she would finish using it, it would just go back into its original box. So, and I kind of tried that when I first got out on my own, but it never worked out so well. I kid you not, my mom has this lightweight vacuum cleaner right now, and its box sits in the floor open, and she pulls it out of that box and she vacuums, and then she puts it right back down inside that box when she's done. And yeah, when I was a kid, I had several different types of like toys and things that were kind of kept the same way. She would be like, "Put your toys away." It was pretty fun. But of course, I'm just not quite that organized. Oh, my rooster's cockle-doodle-dooing. Not my rooster, but the fried chicken rooster. Do any of you guys have chickens? I don't know if I've asked that before, because I asked Gary and he said, yeah, that he would like to have some chickens too when we get over there to the property, because we will live in a place that you can have chickens. I don't want any roosters. No, I don't want any roosters, but I do want I do want some chickens. I think they would be nice to have. But it's like I don't know what to expect, or I don't even have a clue how to take care of them, so I have to do a lot of research and things like that. I know that they need a little roost, or what do you call it, a brooding area, or a place to sleep at night, that kind of thing. A coop, a chicken coop, maybe that's what it's called. So I know that, but if you get them as chicks, I don't know. Like, my question is, how long does it take before they get big enough and start producing eggs? And Lots of different things like that I just absolutely have no clue about. So I'll have to do a lot of research to try to figure that out. All right, so I did pull out a Would You Rather card before I started filming, and before the video kind of gets away from us here, I'll at least do one with you guys, and maybe we'll pull another. I don't know. We'll see. But this card reads, give me just a second, and I will actually show you the card. That way you kind of have an idea of what I'm seeing too. Here we go. Would you rather have toes for fingers or have fingers for toes? Why? Well, the first thought that kind of comes to mind for me with that question, my first thought would be, I think I would rather have fingers for toes, but I would like that clarified, honestly. Do I get to keep, okay, if I have fingers for toes, do I still get to keep my fingers on my hands? Or, you know what I'm saying? And if I put toes for my fingers, do I still get to keep my fingers for toes? Or are we flip-flopping? I think those would be important things to know in answering that question. And I guess that kind of comes from, I've watched one too many genie movies where, you make these wishes and stuff, and there's always something that you didn't anticipate that kind of happens to you. You could say, "Oh, I wish I had toes for fingers," or no, say, "Oh, I wish I had fingers for toes," and it's like, wish granted. And then you look down and you have toes on your hands and fingers on your toes. So yeah, I think I would like that clarified. But if I had to, if it's a situation of you get to keep what you already have and just exchange one of them if you wanted, I think I would rather have fingers for toes and keep the fingers on my hands. Well, that would look weird, wouldn't it? But I've always been really good at, people, my family anyway, always look at me funny when I was in the house, when I had the babies and stuff, and the kids were little and they were still, well, babies. Because, I would go around picking things up and putting things away in the evenings and things like that. After a day of babies in the floor playing with their toys and all that. And I would have my hands full. And there would be something laying there or whatever, and I would just tighten up my toes and stuff. And apparently everybody can't do this, and I thought everybody could, but I would just reach down with my toes and grab things and then kind of pull my leg up and toss it up into my hand. If I already had something and I couldn't like bend over or whatever. So yeah, I think it would be for me, I mean, knowing that well, it's harder for me now with my hip and back problems to do those kind of things. But knowing that I'm the type of person who will grab something, even now, sometimes if I'm carrying laundry and a sock falls out, I'll reach down and grab the sock with my toes and throw it up. But so for me, I think that's the way I would want that to be. I don't know. What do you think on that? Of course, the whole idea, this is not fun unless I toss the question and I answer it and then say, how about you? So there you go. What would you rather have? Would you rather have toes for fingers or fingers for toes? And why? This is going to be interesting to see your answers to all that. So let me know. I'm sure not getting very far today in this picture, am I? But I think you guys have kind of caught on. When I color, I really like to get my flowers and leaves and grass and things like that colored very early on in the picture. And I don't know why that is. That's just always kind of been the way I color things. So. Okay, let's come up here, get this little area here. Okay. Well, yeah. All right. So done with that. See where we're at here. So this is how it's looking right now. I think it's starting to come together a little bit. I mean, not like come together, but I like the way the green with the purple pops. I want to try to, with this picture, and I was thinking going into it, I want to use brighter colors and things like that in this particular image. And I'm hoping that I'm able to do that and carry it through. We'll see how it turns out as it progresses along. But yeah. These little dots, excuse me, like around this, I'm going to do those with that same 86. That dark purplish, what was it? What is it called? Vivid reddish purple. That way that color gets brought through too. And there's a couple more little dots over here. Okay, and then come in and make my little golden nail heads for the sign. And that's just using my dual metallic. All right, let me see. Oh, excuse me. My sinuses are just draining and draining and draining and draining and draining and draining and draining. And they're driving me crazy. Absolutely crazy. All right, let me see. 46, which is vivid green. There's some little ivy here around this pole. I don't know if you guys can see it that great. It's kind of small. I'm going to put it there. For the little ivy. Okay. And as far as like the grassy areas, I think I'm going to use like maybe turquoise light. Maybe. Of course, I don't know how that's going to look. I guess there's only one way to find out. I'm sure I can find an area here where we can. All right, this is turquoise light 57. And like I said, I just kind of want it to have a different vibe to this picture than some of the ones I've been coloring a little more recently. If you think back maybe to the one that I did a lot of pink on, like I think I did like wood or something in pinks maybe, or something like that. So I'm trying to remember the picture right off the top of my head, but I know I used pinks where pink probably shouldn't have been. But I was kind of thinking that I wanted to kind of go something similar to that with this picture. So we'll see. You think that looks okay against that green? I think it does. I think that green is just really going pop. You know, the green that I laid down first, it looks to me like this light turquoise color, this turquoise light is really making those greens really, really, really pop. All right, would you rather? Here's the next one. Play every instrument or speak every language in the world. And why? Well, do you get to play every instrument well or just play it? In other words, are you any good? Because I could see some potential if, you played them really well, you could probably get to go all kinds of places and do all kinds of things while playing those instruments. But at the same time, if you speak every language in the world, especially if you also speak it fluently, that would really open up a lot of doors for you also. I think I would probably go with the languages because I'm going to be honest, I played clarinet when I was in like junior high, and I thought it would be so cool. I thought I would love it so much, and I really didn't. I love to listen to music, all kinds of different music, but I found out I really don't care to make the music, if that makes sense. So I think I would definitely go with speak every language in the world because I'm going to be honest. I always, how you go places and you're shopping or you're standing in a line or whatever, and there's people around and they speak a different language than you and they're speaking their own language to each other, and you're sitting there, and of course the first thing you go is, for one of your first thoughts, I promise you're lying if you say you don't, one of your first thoughts is, are they talking about me? So wouldn't it be cool to know what they were saying? And if they were actually talking about you, that you could turn around and speak right back to them in their language because they just assumed you couldn't understand. So, yeah, I definitely think I would rather speak every language. And I just think it would be really cool in general. I only speak English. I know a few Spanish words. Like muy poquito. Very little. Very, very little. But that's it. And I really didn't do well in foreign language when I was in high school. It was not coming easy to me at all. So I do think I would enjoy probably being able to speak every language much more than playing every instrument, because I'm sure, if I wanted to play an instrument, it would probably be like guitar. I think it might be cool to be able to play the guitar, but I don't want to play the trombone. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't mean anything to me whatsoever. So I think I would get the most fulfillment out of being able to speak every language. And hopefully that makes sense to you, because it made sense when I said it to me. So, what about you? Would you like to be able to play every instrument or to speak every language in the world? And why? This little area done right here. Okay, so do you see how that's looking? I think I like that. I do. All right, we'll do one more. And then, okay. Would you rather have a hamster sized elephant or have an elephant sized hamster? Oh boy. I had hamsters as a kid, and I think they're the coolest little creatures ever. But let me tell you something. I loved my little hamsters, and my little hamsters loved me. But if they can't help it. It's their natural instinct to try to, protect themselves. That's all of our instincts is self preservation. And I had this one little guy, and if you picked him up and he wasn't expecting it or something like that, or it startled him, he would nip your finger. And if you have never been bitten by a rodent, oh, hope you never do, because little hamsters have very, very long teeth, and they go very, very deep when those little jokers bite, and it is very, very painful. So, here's what I would think. If you had an elephant sized hamster, and that sucker right there, he could bite your little stinking head off. I mean, you're talking about something the size of an elephant with something extremely sharp and pointy to bite with. So I think in this instance, if I had to pick one, I would rather have the hamster-sized elephant, because I think elephants are really cute and everything, but they're really too big. You can't like have an elephant as a pet. They would be a cool pet. They're really cool animals, but you really can't have one as a pet because they're so stinking big. My thought would be that if you could shrink it down to or to hamster size, it would make it possible to have an elephant as a cute little pet. So yeah, if I had to choose one of those, I think that's what I would choose. Um, I think elephants are really neat little creatures. And I loved my hamsters. Like I said, I really did love my hamsters. They're cute and they're cuddly and they're furry. But let me tell you what, I just got a bad feeling. If you made a hamster the size of a stinking elephant, you would have a freaky, dangerous, or potentially dangerous little creature on your hands. And, sometimes them hamsters, they can have a little bit of an attitude too. And, I mean, I've literally had my hamsters before look at me with almost that huh, kind of attitude. And you definitely, where they would put their hands on their hip and stomp their foot if they could kind of thing. And yeah, that just sounds like that would be a spooky mix. It reminds me of like dinosaurs, like T-Rex and crazy things like that. I think that's what you would end up with if you had a elephant-sized hamster. You would be dealing with something that I think you would just be dealing with something that you couldn't control. And that would control you, if that makes sense. So that is my thoughts on that one. So you tell me, would you rather have an elephant-sized hamster or a hamster-sized elephant, and why? I had fancy rats as pets once too, and they're really cool. Of course, they're bigger, than hamsters. The only thing that kind of weirded me out is I'm terrified of snakes. I mean, terrified of snakes. And for whatever reason, those fancy rat tails remind me of snakes. And these little fancy rats, they would like curl up behind my neck, but I'd have that tail wrapped around the back of my neck. And when the hamster would move and I would feel that tail move along the back of my neck, the only thing I could think was snake, and it would weird me out so bad. So, yeah. All right, so let's take a look at how this is looking. All right, so here is where we're at. We're hitting the 1 hour mark, so I am going to stop for the day right here. I'm going to put some thought into, do I want to come back and work on this on camera, or do I just want this to be it for this picture and just go ahead and finish it up? I'll let you guys know in the community board if I'm going to come back and just continue on or what I want to do with that. But yeah, so you guys be sure to go over and check out Mama Meg's. I believe it's Art Therapy with Mama Megs, but there will be a link down in the description of this video over there. Be sure to tell Megs that Donna sent you, and just give a big hello to her from me. Show her some love. I'm going to link Karen E. Meyer's Facebook group also in the description below. My Instagram will be linked down there. If you want to do the Instagram, I'm going to put some pictures up, so you guys can see Desi. Yeah, and of course there'll be links to this coloring book as well as these markers. Yep. So yeah, and of course my Amazon link is always there if you want to bookmark it and shop through that Amazon link. It doesn't cost you a penny, but I'll get credit for it here at the channel, and it just helps support bringing you guys more content. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being here. I loved hanging out with you today. I'll see you guys in my next video, but until then, peace, love, and happy coloring. Bye, guys.